Yes, now I'm standing here with Chris Baldwin, who's responsible also for several projects in the preparation of the European Capital of Culture 2016 in Wrocław. Chris, tell me something about your projects.
Well, all my projects really are attempts to create huge events. I'm director and responsible for 4 huge events that give the opportunity of the citizens of Wrocław to tell the story of this extraordinary city which went through such trauma in the 20th century. But for the citizens of Wrocław to tell this story both to themselves but also to an audience across the whole of Europe.
Yes. And how would you actually describe this whole project of the European Capital of Culture of Wrocław? And how did you, as a British person, I believe, come here and help the people in Poland?
Well, I think the European Capital of Culture is an extraordinarily important opportunity. Opportunity for not just the city but the region of Lower Silesia. It's an opportunity for them to make certain statements of intent to the rest of Europe. And one of the key messages that the city wants to communicate to the rest of Europe is don't forget that this city was and is becoming again a central, important cultural metropolis of Europe. In the 20th century, it was one of the centres of modernism. It played an absolutely crucial role in modernism in Germany. And then, of course, in the 1940s, through the Nazi period, and as a result of the Second World War, Breslau was at the centre of one of the centres of the collapse of European civilization. Let's be quite clear about this. And so that makes it even more extraordinary that from 1945 onwards, this time under Polish ownership, the city was reborn, rebuilt, and even today as we look out the window we can see that there are buildings still being rebuilt from the complete destruction of the city centre in 1945. So European Capital of Culture marks an absolutely fundamental stepping stone in a history that at least goes back to 1945, if not beforehand. I think it's a point where the city says we are back, we are European, we're open for business, but we are a huge cultural jewel in Europe.
And once again, how come you as a British person work here now in this project?
Well, I've, for many years now, been very interested in how, for me, art and culture is too important to leave in the hands of professional artists. I believe that the only way people and different peoples from different countries and different cultures can speak to each other is through culture. Culture is the means by which we heal our wounds. It's the means by which we can create common futures together. Whichever way you attempt to create that communication, it comes down to culture. So I've been very interested in how different cultures, how different peoples, I'm a European, so particularly European cultures, have and can use culture.
Yes.
A few weeks ago on the radio, I heard a commentator from the United States saying one of the big problems with Europe is that it always resolves its problems through war. Well, he's right in a way. We do have that horrific history. And there's only really one other alternative, and that's culture. Culture is absolutely fundamental in any civilized society. So I thoroughly enjoy and get a huge satisfaction from working in societies and cities, valleys, in rural areas. I've worked for 15 years with farmers in Spain, listening to the stories of the area, listening to what has to be told, where people have a huge and urgent need to tell stories, and helping those very people convert that need to tell stories into cultural acts, into performances, into festivals. And that's what I'm doing here. Before I was here, I did something similar with various projects related to the London Olympics. One in the Midlands, in Rutland, and another one as part of the Olympic torch as it went around the UK. So my specialism is creating big events, but those big events being based coming from a dialogue from within the community, from citizens, and those very citizens creating the form in which they wish to tell stories and explore their own identity through these events.
Thank you very much, Chris. Have a good day now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.